I like to use concealer to spot correct. Spot correcting is just looking at the areas on your skin. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm LJ if you're new here. So today we are creating this look and we're not using any foundation, okay? This is like a glam, fresh face type of makeup look. I am obsessed with this type of makeup look. I just really like the glow, how my skin looks really healthy with a little bit of makeup and just not having to go in with foundation. This honestly really proves that foundation is a luxury, okay? We don't really need it. You know, we just apply it maybe because it adds a little bit of coverage. So I'll be sharing with you guys how I created this look in this video. So if you're interested, keep on watching.
KLJ, welcome to a channel where it's poppin'. Welcome to a YouTube.
Okay, so today's video is going to be a no foundation makeup routine. So we're not applying any foundation. We're just going in with the regular makeup products. So this makeup look is definitely one that is going to be very quick. Something for every day. Maybe say you're tired of foundation or you feel like your skin doesn't really need it. So right now, I've literally just cleansed my face and I'm gonna jump right into primer. So regardless of whether or not I'm putting foundation, anytime I'm putting any type of makeup product on my skin, I like to prime. So I'm gonna use this ColourPop Pretty Fresh primer. So this is a hydrating primer. It's definitely a very moisturizing primer. So it's great if you have dry skin. So you just wanna pick up one of your favorite primers and put that all over your skin. Because we're not putting on foundation, we're gonna move on to concealer. So I like to use concealer to spot correct. Spot correcting is just looking at the areas on your skin that has like a little bit of darkness, where you see that shadow. You definitely want to add a little brightness onto your skin. So using a concealer will conceal those shadows and brighten up your face. So it looks like you're a little awake and your skin will look natural because you're not going in with foundation. So the concealer that I'm going to use is this ColourPop No Filter Concealer. You can use the Pretty Fresh concealer. So what I like to do is I look on the areas of my skin that needs the spot correcting, usually around this area where my breakouts are. So I just put a little bit right there, a little bit right here as well. I do have a little bit of darkness around my mouth area, so I like to just go over that area right here. I get redness right there, so this is going to cancel out that redness. A little bit on my forehead area, so this area is right here. Typically on my forehead, I don't really pay attention to it too much because I don't really have that much darkness just around those areas. And then what I do is I go in with a beauty blender. I think a beauty blender is perfect to blend out concealer. And I just go over and try to blend it out and diffuse it as if you're blending out foundation, but you're not really blending out foundation. And as you can see, it like instantly cancels out the discoloration, shadows. You don't really see any shadows on my skin except under my eyes. And with that, I go in with another concealer. You can use the same concealer if you want, but for me, I like that highlighted look under my eyes with or without foundation. So I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. Camo concealer. This one is in the shade Deep Cinnamon. I really like this one because it has a little bit of redness, so it helps to cancel out the darkness under my eyes. At the same time, it adds a little bit of brightness. So what I do is I place it on the inner portion of my eye and then a little bit on my chin area and then on the forehead to add a little bit of highlight. And then I'm gonna go in with the same beauty blender. I'm just using kind of like a cleaner portion of it and blending that right underneath my eyes. And with this concealer, you definitely want to bring it all the way up, especially if your eyelids have discoloration. So you want to cancel that as well. Now with this concealer, it creases quite a bit, so going in with a very, very small amount will prevent that from creasing. And then whatever's left on the sponge, you can just kind of like press it down the bridge of your nose. You don't have to actually place concealer there because this is a natural makeup look. You don't want to put too much of that concealer. And then do a little bit of reverse contour if you're not going to actually contour your skin, which I'm not because I don't really have foundation on, so it doesn't really take away from my natural contour. So reverse contour can be a perfect way of contouring your skin without actually using contour. Alright, so next I'm gonna use a cream blush. Now I love cream blushes, especially for natural makeup looks because they're super easy to apply for me versus like powdered blush, because I feel like with cream blushes, you can kind of diffuse them if you apply too much and they're just easier to blend. So the one that I really like is this NYX Sweet Cheeks blush. So I like to place like literally a dab on there because it's really pigmented. And then going in with a clean beauty blender or a beauty sponge, I'm just going to press that onto my skin and blend it out. This adds a little bit of color onto your skin. Alright, so next is setting powder. I'm gonna use this Makeup Forever Ultra HD setting powder. So this is just a regular loose setting powder. However, I am going to add a little bit of this Maybelline loose finishing powder. So a loose finishing powder is really good if you have mature skin, maybe if you have some wrinkles under your eyes, or you know, you have large pores. It really helps to smoothen out your skin. So I would definitely say if you have those things, use a loose finishing setting powder. If you don't and you just have youthful skin, a regular setting powder would work. I'm gonna use both of them just to show you guys how both of them work together, paired up together. So the first one that I'm gonna use is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD setting powder. And what I do is I use this sponge that I used for the concealer and I press that right underneath my eyes. I try to focus right under my eyes where that concealer tends to crease a lot, and that will prevent it from moving under my eyes. So you definitely want to set your skin with some form of powder because you're putting cream on your skin, and cream tends to move around on your skin. And you also want to place that setting powder around your nose area because I did place concealer there to get rid of the redness. And then next you just want to go in and set the rest of your face. And I like to just set like kind of like everywhere because I placed cream products everywhere. And a little bit for reverse contour. That's going to help kind of like sharpen up that reverse contour. And then of course I'm gonna also set my eyelid area. Alright, next I'm gonna go in with the finishing powder by Maybelline, and using that same sponge that I used for the other setting powder, I like to place just a very small amount on the tip of the sponge, and I usually focus this powder right underneath my eyes because that's where I have that creasing, I have a little bit of wrinkles. So you definitely want to focus this finishing powder where you have those problematic areas on your skin. Like I mentioned, wrinkles, pores, maybe even like discoloration, acne. This just helps smoothens it out and makes it very flawless. Alright, so now it's time to do the eyebrows. So for eyebrows, I'm just doing it exactly how I always do it, which is using a brow pen. So I've been really liking a brow pen better than like a pomade or, you know, a eyebrow pencil or anything like that. It's just easier for me to draw out my eyebrow hairs with an eyebrow pen. And so the one I'm using is by Anastasia in the shade Ebony. Alright, so we're not going in with any eyeshadow because this is a very much simple makeup look. So I'm gonna go in with mascara, and I want to put on lashes just to kind of add a little glam to the makeup look. So the mascara that I'm using is the ILIA Beauty mascara, and I'm only placing this mascara on my top lashes and keeping my bottom lashes very neutral. And then next for eyelashes, I'm going in with the Ardell Faux Mink Wispies. I really love these lashes. They are super fluffy, very much glam, but they are not like too dramatic. All right, so lashes are finally on. They're super wispy, so they're going to be like flaring out, but they're just not like doing too much on my eyes, so they're very much natural. So next, I'm gonna take that Makeup Forever setting powder, and I'm just going to set around my mouth area because I can kind of see it getting a little bit oily. And you definitely want to set your skin, especially if you apply like moisturizer before putting on your makeup or you've placed like concealer. All right, so next I'm gonna do my lips. So I'm starting off by lining my lips with Chestnut by MAC. And then for my lips, I'm gonna use a Fenty Slip Shine lipstick in the shade Retro Rose. All right, lastly for highlighter, I'm gonna go in with the Cover FX Monochromatic Bronzer Duo, and I'm gonna use this highlighter shade right here. And this part is usually optional for me. Sometimes when I'm feeling highlighter, I add. Sometimes when I feel like my skin is glowy enough, I usually don't add, but because it's winter time, my skin is never really like naturally glowy, so I like to add a little bit of highlighter. So I'm gonna take a little bit of that highlighter and put it at the button of my nose. I really like this highlighter because it literally just like melts onto your skin. It gives your skin kind of like that wet type of look, so it kind of gives you like that natural glow without you really seeing the highlighter on there. And taking a little bit, I'm gonna place it right on the bridge of my nose, and then whatever's left on the brush, I'm just gonna kind of brush that on my forehead a little bit. I usually don't like placing too much on my forehead because your girl got a big forehead and we don't need to make it more visible. And then a little bit on my Cupid's bow. All right, last but not least, we have blotting powder. So I'm gonna use the Fenty Beauty blotting powder. This step I would recommend if you have oily skin to bring the oils down a little bit, but because we haven't applied foundation, we shouldn't need it too much. So I just like to take a little bit on a clean beauty blender and just kind of blot around my nose area. This area gets so oily, so placing this around that area kind of brings the oils down. Also around my mouth area right here gets really oily and starts creasing. All right, so I forgot to take the highlighter and put it in the inner corner of my eye. I was wondering why my eyes were looking so plain, so I'm just gonna take a little bit of that and pop it on the inner corner. This will brighten up your eyes a little bit, especially if you don't put on eyeshadow. So this is the last and final look of this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. This is what my skin looks like without foundation. This is definitely a routine for me because one, it's very natural, and I've been just really loving natural makeup looks and just, you know, glowy, healthy type of skin. This is like a glam, like almost a full glam without any foundation. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave your girl a big thumbs up. Also subscribe because I would love to have you on the LJ family. But other than that, I will see you guys in my next video.
KLJ, welcome to a channel